that hug we just had, that wasn't too long, right? That was still within the man hug time limit, right? Okay. Henry, thanks for that amazing introduction. I mean, you almost brought me to tears a couple of times, but I mean, I don't want to sound selfish, but where's my pie? So, no, just kidding. I want to thank all of the students for putting on such a great radio station for us to listen to on the way in. You guys are doing a great job. And thanks to the board of the Alumni Association for putting on this amazing event. This event goes far beyond anything that I was involved with that we were putting on 10 years ago. You've just taken it to an amazing level. This radio station just means the world to all of us in this room, and it does to me too. To this day, I still have such an emotional attachment to it. And all the memories that Henry's talking about, it's because we're working together as a team. And we're not getting paid. We're just doing it for the love of it. And I think there are a lot of lessons that I think a lot of broadcast professionals in radio today should be coming here and learning some lessons from the way we're doing radio here, right? Because we do it for the love of it. And I think moving forward, this radio business, it comes down to two things. And you guys are doing it here at Z89, still to this day. It comes down to product, and it comes down to delivery. And the people in this room, especially the students, you're going to be the future that are going to take radio to the next level. Because, let's face it, you have a fantastic product that you put your passion into. And because of that, because it comes out of the speakers, that's how you get the connection with the listener. And consumer engagement, that's what my company does. We're in 25 different countries and we're preaching to the radio stations. You gotta engage with the listener, you gotta do whatever it takes. Have those touch points. Well, you guys are doing it, and you're doing it for free. And you gotta keep doing it, because that's what's gonna be the future for radio. And radio has a fantastic future. But back then, the reason why we achieved those things was we just kept it really simple. We kept it really simple. And when we started, when Henry took over as general manager and I was the program director, we said, all right, the radio station in the Birch ratings, because we didn't have Arbitron, we were below the line and we couldn't see our numbers. In Birch, we were a 4.5 share radio station. How do we take it to the next level? And we just said, let's develop a strategic direction. Everybody, let's get all the students involved. We had 100 kids working at the radio station. How does every kid fit into the strategy of the radio station? And we laid that out. I made a pilgrimage down to New York to talk to the JPZ alums like Carl Weinstein and Rocco down in New York, and I said, what can we do? And with T-Bone, Mike Tierney, we put together the strategy for the radio station. And again, we just do, and we were doing the things that we were learning the things that I still talk about to our clients in all the different places we work today. Keep it simple, have a clear strategic direction, love what you do and it'll come out of the speakers, have attention to detail. I remember when I was a senior and just starting out as the program director, I went down to visit Steve Kingston and I was sitting in his office and talk about attention to detail. Probably Kid was at Z100 at that point. I think he was doing nights at that point. And I was sitting in Steve Kingston's office, he's talking to this kid, Hal, across the desk. And the guys from the morning show come in and say, hey Steve, we had a great call-in bit. And he said, you went 30 seconds too long, that's unacceptable, don't let it happen again. And I'm like, okay, wow. But that's a lesson, attention to detail and just keeping it simple. And because the details matter. And that's what we tried to employ there. And just putting it into the product. And and then the ratings really did follow. And then the other thing in terms of the product is, the listener doesn't care if you're owned by Clear Channel, or you're owned by some, mom and pop operator, or you broadcast down on Waverly Avenue in a one-room studio where back in our day we didn't even have air conditioning. They don't care. All they care about is what comes out of the speakers. And so, of course, we didn't have money for promotions. So one of the things that we did back then was, well, we had trade with Coca-Cola. So at the New York State Fair, we didn't have bumper stickers. We didn't have budget for that. 93Q did. They had a lot of bumper stickers. So how do we turn that into an advantage to us? Well, we gave everyone a Coke, a free Coca-Cola, if they brought us a 93Q bumper sticker. And so we said, well, what do we do with these things? So we just start mashing them up into a ball and didn't think a thing of it. But then some of the kids at the State Fair really got into it. They were carrying us stacks of 93Q bumper stickers from their table at the fair. So it started, you know, we started forming it into a soccer ball. It was literally the size of a soccer ball. So then we started, you know, Henry started doing these promotions where we would do kick the cue ball. We started calling it a cue ball, and we'd take it to events. Listeners would kick it for distance and prizes. You know, so just the image of kicking your competitor's logo across the parking lot, it was fantastic. And then there was a point where the promotion director of 93Q got so incensed at this. It was at the Weedsport Concert Center. And he tried to steal it, and he did. He actually stole it, and then Henry somehow got it back. I don't know how, but you know, that's just an example of, you know, just have fun with the resources you have, and what comes out of the speakers is it. The bottom line going forward for all of you, because I know you hear all the students, you hear all this doom and gloom. Oh my God, I'm not going to get a job. You know, radio's dead. Let me tell you what, radio's not dead. Radio is very much alive. You know, 90% of Americans are using it every day. When you compare the amount of time people spend listening to radio to Pandora, they're spending a lot more time with us. But it's only going to keep happening if we have passion for the product. And the other side of it is delivery. And you know, and the kids that are growing up today, you've grown up with, you know, taking content from a wide variety of places. That's all you got to do is take this awesome content, make it available for the listeners. At the end of the day, it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. So it's all about product and delivery, and you know, may the best product win at the end of the day. So you know, just to kind of wrap up, and again, I just want to say thank you so much. It's really an honor, and you know, anything I can do for any JPZer, you name it, and I think that goes for any JPZer in this room. But you know, there's so much talk about the kids from 95, class of 95's out here, right? A lot of 95. All right, how about 91? Okay, great. You know, and I noticed that no one from 91 is in this room, and I quickly realized why. It's, you know, it's at 1991. It's almost 20 years ago. We're just slowly dying off of old age, so it's got to be the reason. But thank you so much for letting me be part of this, and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you very much.
Your newest Hall of Famer, Hal Rood, ladies and gentlemen.